Hey, team coach here. First try at reviewing some game footage. I want to say real quick, it's not normal for a U10 team from a small club like us to have the privilege, have this tool at our disposal to get to watch game film and break it down. So just real big thank you to Brian Kellogg for getting a camera, setting it up, uploading the videos and everything else. I'm really hoping this is a huge benefit for the team. Number two, just this one special message just for this one video. I'm hoping to keep these all around 15 minutes. This one might be 20. I just want to say game film, it's not here. We're not here to point fingers or make excuses or even feel bad about our own mistakes. All right. Every single player on the team makes mistakes every game. Every coach on the team makes mistakes every match. I made plenty of mistakes on this match. I started us off short subbing because I thought it was going to be hot out. Didn't let you guys settle into a good groove, and that hurt us in the first half. So I've not going to hang my head or hide my face because I did that. I'm going to learn from that mistake, realize you guys are a little bit tougher than I gave you credit for, and I'm going to move on. So I need you guys to put on some thick skin today. Look at this as a tool to kind of learn from your mistake and see how we can solve this puzzle of stopping giving up goals. All right. We watch film because we're a team, and we're here to support each other and get better. All right, let's get into this. All right, so the video I shared with you guys last Friday was taking kickoffs, so I'm going to look at us taking 3 kickoffs, and then I'm going to look at us giving up 3 goals in this game. This is the game we played on Saturday, our second game. So here's our first kickoff. I'm going to hit play real quick and let it just get set up. All right, you heard the whistle blow. We're getting ready to take it. Just like we watched in our video right here. You can't see the player behind the referee, but there's a player right there kind of marking, I think that's Spencer over there pretty tight, and we got a player right here marking Lincoln pretty tight. Let's see what Isaiah does with this kickoff. He plays it backwards, right? Okay, so if we're going to play our cue to play a ball backwards is what? If they're taking up our space back here, right? Because then we don't have space to play into to move the ball forward. In this case, they had Z and they had Spencer marked up pretty tight correctly. So we probably could have played that ball into this space for a better thing, for a better outcome here. Plays it backwards. Cochran does what he's supposed to do if it comes back to him. Pretty sure that's Cochran. He does the bomb, right? And he sends it over the top here. But in order for the bomb to work, we need this, our number 9 here, Z, to what? We need him to take off as soon as we pass it backwards. He's kind of standing there, so we can see, he stood there after his kick, so now we can see how much distance he has to make up to get to that ball. Whereas their defense, you can't see this defender over here on the right, but I guarantee you he's probably even closer, is really close to the ball. I also want to point something out here to Cochran. If you're playing the 8 here and the ball comes back to you, do you see how this defender over here? He came from over here, right? So if you feel pressure coming in from you on this direction, that probably means there's nobody left over here, bad guy wise, right? So old Lincoln, we can't see him, he's out of frame, but I bet Lincoln's over here unmarked somewhere. So as soon as he saw the number 9 not take off running, it might have been a good clue to move that ball back out here. See how this turns out. Oh, Lincoln gets to it somehow, but we instantly turn it back over. Alright, let's fast forward to our next kickoff. Alright, the other team's just scored. We're getting ready to take a kickoff. Z's still our 9. Looks like I've got Spencer over there on that wing and Lincoln over here. And once again, look, marked up real tight. We can see this guy this time marked up real tight. Got plenty of space here, got plenty of space back here. See what Z decides to do this time. Oh, look at that. Eyes up, he's looking around. He sees that space this time. Not the best decision to touch it forward right here by Lincoln. Probably would have been better to just try to dribble it to the corner or take an early cross. Z's just a couple seconds late, but he might have been able to get to that early cross. Either way, it worked out. We earned ourselves a corner. But you know what they weren't able to do is quickly counterattack. Alright, final kickoff I want to take a look at. I think we've subbed in our crew at this point. We got Henley. I think Henley's playing our 9 this time. Got Landry over here on this near wing to the camera. I can't tell who's over there on the far side. I want to say it's Weston. And we got Josiah playing the 8. Henley's looking around. You can see her cool ponytail wobbling back and forth. And I think she just noticed that they're marked up real tight here. You know what else I'm noticing right here? That's awesome. Is W's hand. I don't know for sure, but that sure looks to me like he's letting Henley know, like, hey, look, this kid's marked up on me tight. We got space. Oh yeah, that was definitely a clue. He was ready. All right, pause. Okay, man, great kickoff. Got the ball into Landry, but after that kickoff, Henley and looks like Weston over there, they were definitely watching soccer instead of playing soccer, right? Look at this gap between the two of them after the kickoff. As soon as that ball went, we got to move, right? Be great if I could see an outside back coming up to support right here. I'm sorry, center back coming up to support right here, or Henley dropping in to support, and Weston coming over to get square. Alright, there's our 3 kickoffs that we're going to look at. Alright, let's look at 3 times when we gave up a goal. First goal we gave up was around 5:11. Here we go. Oh, I'm sorry, 5:40. Malcolm just made a save. He punts it away. By the way, side note here, guys, Malcolm's got a great punt. Anytime Malcolm's in goal and he makes a save and he gets his hands on that, let's make sure one of us is getting fairly deep, as far deep as we can get without being offside, to see if Malcolm can't get one over to the top to us. Cherry pick ourselves a goal. Alright, here's where we're going to pause first, alright? Let's back up. Too far. Ball comes down, we turn it over. Lincoln does a little bit of dive. I'm not unhappy about a dive right here. I mean, being patient would have been great too, to allow more teammates to come up and take away passes, or take away passing lanes. But pressure's okay here. You got Z behind you. Communicate that. Patience might have worked out better. He beats Z with a pass, comes into the midfield. Cochran applies immediate pressure. That's a good choice, Cochran, right? Immediate pressure. You're closest to the ball. You're first defender. He just got the pass away before we could do anything about it. Here's where I want to stop. All right. I would have stopped earlier, but we couldn't see Gabe in the frame. We got our midfield all the way up here, right? That action started all the way back here. There was at least 2 passes to get the ball to right about here. And then all this space, because Gabe originally started right here. There's all this space, right, for yellow to just sit in. And once that ball got out, this kid had very little pressure until Gabe moved from his original position here to come up. Now, let's talk. The 4 and the 5, their job is pressure, cover, right? Gabe's applying pressure. Vincent should be providing some cover for Gabe. So, if Vincent moved up here, he could be providing cover to Gabe. Now, I'll tell you, it is not Vincent's job to mark players when they start attacking us. Remember, when we're on defense, when we're on the defensive half, we want to do our very best to outnumber them. If they get numbers forward in front of our goal, they have an advantage. So right now it's Gabe one-on-one with this kid. Let's see what happens. He beats Gabe right there, right? And Vincent's not in a position where he was in a good cover spot to be able to help Gabe once he beats him, making Gabe to have to recover to him. Vincent probably wasn't in a great position because he felt like he had to mark this guy here so that a pass didn't come out to him. I think at this point Landry C's playing my 8, right? He's the closest one to do that. I need you to drop in here and mark this kid. Be goal side of him. Free Vincent up to provide support, to provide cover to Gabe. Alright, let's back that up. Oh man, I wish this had like a 10-second. Alright, right here. Look. Gabe's pressuring. Right? Vincent's trying to simultaneously mark this kid and provide cover. But they're so close to each other. Watch what happens. He beats both of them with one touch. Now, I know you're going to look at that tape and be like, hey, that kid that shot the goal was offside. He was offside. But you can't do anything about that. All right? So let's see. Let's let this play for a few seconds. Here we go again. Okay, again, right here, right? We got Gabe pressuring. We've got Vincent trying to man mark and cover at the same time. They're one-on-one with us, right? We got to outnumber them in the defensive third for sure. Cochran, I need you, and at this point, to hustle back here and start man marking this person, so that frees Vincent up to find good space to provide cover for Gabe. Gabe's pressure, Vincent's cover, midfielders. You're my man markers. You've got to mark people. All right. Next goal. Man, 6 minutes later. You know, I meant to turn the volume down so you guys didn't have to listen to all your parents yell at you twice. Got Spencer applying some pressure. Kid puts it out. Looks like we're probably going to get a throw in. We'll talk about throw-ins later. Here we go. Subbing in. Throw. Alright. First thing I want to look at right here. I can't tell who my two defenders are at this point, but this is definitely one of them right here. And here's the other one. Okay. You can tell by looking at the touch line over there on the side, they're almost in a straight line. It's a very ineffective way to defend, right? This defender needs to shift over and be diagonal to this defender. I think we're on, I don't think we have possession of the ball right now, so they should be at least a goal width apart, staying connected. Okay, what we just saw there, right? defense did a much better job of staying connected with their midfielders, but because they did such a great job, they're already in the mix. So we've got a defender committed to pressure. We've got this other defender providing cover. Cover worked. Now we had another one come out and provide some pressure. Gabe providing some cover. Worked again. Looks like our midfield's doing a good job of staying mixed up in there. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this one more time. Beats Landry W with the touch. Beats Gabe with the touch. We got I think this is Carson or Vincent back here in a cover position. He's got no choice. He's got to pressure right now. I know I've got this slowed way down, but at this point I believe this is one of Landry W over here is one of my wings. He's had to glide centrally. I've got Josiah playing the 8, Weston playing another wing. We've got at least 1, 2, 3, I'll say 2 versus Carson here. These two. You put these 3 in, you got 3v2. Carson's all by himself. He gets beat. It's just him and Malcolm. I know this is slowed down, guys. But if we ever get one person back and is pressuring, somebody's got to go cover, right? Ideally, Gabe's the one that's closest. He should have been running straight to goal, not watching soccer, straight to goal as fast as he could to get back to Carson. W, he's a little out of position, but he's the closest to this guy. He's got to man mark him, right? He's got to get goal side of him. Josiah, you got to drop down here and get him as hard as you can, right? You can catch your breath after we've defended the goal. That gets us to where we outnumber them 4 to 3. We got to have numbers on that defense. All right. Carson gets touched past. This kid's in on goal. Right here, Malcolm. You see, he's beat. Nobody's going to be able to help you here. You got to come out and make that goal. Oh, hey, what happened there? All right, as I was saying, Malcolm, he's beat. It's just you and him. Look at how much goal he has to shoot at. As soon as he's got all your defenders beat, you got to come out and just meet him head on, 1v1. Get low, get wide, get your hands out. See, he put that in the corner there because the goal was huge to him. Once there's no defender between you and that ball, Malcolm, you are that defender. You got to come out and take that on. All right, third goal. Gave up at 16-10. All right. This one I'm pretty sure we gave up off of us taking a goal kick. Alright, great teaching point right here, team. Okay, there's only certain times I can sub you guys now, alright? The ball's got to be on a line, and we have to have possession. Anytime those two criteria aren't met, the referee doesn't have to let me sub you. So our throw-ins, our goal kicks, and our corners are my 3 opportunities to sub you 99% of the time. So you can tell I'm doing a sub right here. That's why it's so important for you guys to be paying attention to the match while you're sitting on the bench. You know, don't know for sure, but I'd be willing to bet you a ham sandwich that why we gave this goal up on this goal kick is I just made a sub and everybody's coming on is clueless to what's going on. Alright, here we go. Oh, Gotta turn that volume back down. I hear Jacob and Jonathan are there talking about high school soccer. I know we haven't went over this yet before, but we gotta not let it hang our... okay, I'm going to back that up. Carson, Spencer, and Vincent. I know we haven't gone over this before. Everybody else, I know I have gone over it with you 100 times, right? We can't leave our goalkeeper just hanging out to dry on goal kicks. Goal kicks are dangerous for us. I need a center back inside the box here. I need a center back inside the box here. I need Lincoln to move out wide here. I can't tell who this is. I'm thinking that's Landry C. That's my midfielder, so I need Spencer to move out wide over here as one of my wingers. I need Cochran right here centrally. And then Z, he's our wild card. He can move around all he wants back here. We know Malcolm actually has a pretty good foot. These guys aren't in half pitch. Z, you could have dropped back probably behind them, got your hands up and got Malcolm's attention, and he might have been able to get one over all these guys to us for another cherry picking goal. Alright, comes out here to my central mid who's playing in a wing. I can't tell, referee's in his way. But he got beat somehow. Spencer's there trying to cover him. This kid's going to just take it across our goal. Guys, if they get in our box, they're not in our box yet, but they're getting ready to get in our box. If they get in our box, we got to get aggressive, right? We got to start shutting them down. That being in the box is a not a great time to be super patient. We still got to be patient and not dive, but at the same time, we got to mark them a lot tighter. So here we come, pass in. He just dribbles across our goal. He gives himself some distance. He gives himself some space right here between maybe Vincent and whatever, and himself. That allows him to take a. Let's talk about something else here too. That allows him to get a little touch to get even more space. I can't tell who this is. Maybe Carson and Spencer here. Is that Vincent, Carson, Spencer? He sees this guy and he starts dropping back to try to man mark him. And I know I've been talking about man marking him, but don't draw him back up on side, right? This kid was way offside just a little bit ago. And we dropped backwards and we brought him back onside. Little touch pass. See right there, he's offside. And then we got him back onside. But that was the only little critique I have on that. We had two people in cover, and they were in great cover positions. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that triangle. Spencer's on that side of him. I think that's Carson on this side of Vincent, making a sweet little triangle. Got pressure. We got pressure. We got two covers. We outnumber them 3v2. We got a little unlucky here. The only little thing that maybe we could have done different is this person stepped to the ball and shut down that angle. Okay, that's it. We looked at our 3 kickoffs and how we can create opportunities and do that better. We looked at giving up 3 goals. Next week, I'm going to try to do at least one of these every week. Next week, we'll go over that again. This season, I'm really focusing on us stopping the bleeding. We gotta figure out defense and figure out individual defending and figure out how to keep the other team from scoring goals. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on our theme, which was kickoffs. I'm going to focus on our individual and team defending in instances where we give up goals.